Hey, what's going on guys? NoAF here, and in this video I'm going to be going over DDD. Now, as you all know, DDD got some really good support in the upcoming set, and well, I would like to go over just how crazy these new cards are and how much of this deck changes. So, I've been a little busy right now, and well, I came up with my own little spreadsheet of a few combos. By the way, this is not really scratching the surface of all the possible lines in this deck. Because there's a lot, and I just wanted to cover over the basics and what you need to know in your game plan of what you're trying to accomplish in combos. Because once you establish the game plan, you could figure out how to do it from like mostly end. That's the idea at least. So first of all, I'm going to go over the no interruption full combo. Now, this pretty much starts off with one Kepler, just showing you what one Kepler can actually do here. Go for the Machinex, go Kepler add gate, gate add Machinex, Machinex place this, summon from deck, make Gilg place these two, and then now you go, you want to go Ouroboros here, Orthros, to pop and pop, and put itself in extra deck, and that way when things popped, Machinex triggers in extra deck to summon itself. Then once it summons itself, we can make the link 3 without using a pendulum, and then we use our first pendulum summon once we have the Ragnarok, because now we're insulated from Nip. Because if you haven't read this card negates the card in the hand, which is absolutely perfect when they have a Nibiru in hand. So now we're just going to continue the combo. We're going to make our Siegfried after we pen 2. We're going to go pop the Kepler so we can pendulum summon again. Now we go finally into our Xyz summoning, which then we go to Solomon, and then we can go into link off for Gilg, and then now we just go full combo here. See, we banish 2. So that way we can fuse into the Genghis. We make this guy, so this way we get access to Caesar and we get a free body on field. Now, as something to note, you could probably banish the Tell and then summon it back off of the Clovis, or you can just activate the card in hand, the Zero King. So that way you can summon from graveyard, and then you could summon out either a Solomon or a Tell. It really depends. Instead of the soldier, like it doesn't really change much. It just changes what the body is, so that way if it gets outed, you get a potential send. It's just something to keep in mind in this combo. But this is your generic one card combo. However, this combo loses to Droll, doesn't lose to Nib, but it also loses to imperm. But it's a one card combo, so most one card combos are going to be losing to one imperm. So I'm going to show you what happens if you get drolled, or what you can do to play around droll. So in this next combo, I'm going to show you the anti-droll combo. So we're just going to go add the Zero King, which we can get drolled here. But assuming our opponent doesn't have droll, I'm going to show you how you can extend past it since we're playing a bit differently. So it's going to be very similar to the first combo. I'm not going to explain every step of it, but I can tell you that this combo will look different for sure. Then now we just go Solomon, we grab our soldier. Grabbing the soldier to hand means we can pendulum summon it, which means we can essentially not have to revive it from grave or have to use our scent for it, so that way we can get Necro Slime, so we can just do more stuff. Because we use the Copernicus early in the combo, we have to send the Lamia, get our 2 bodies, and so this way we can save it for later, grab it, then pendulum summon it. It's just something to keep in mind, and it's a pretty solid combo. Then now we can just add this, since we're not under droll or anything. Now we're just gonna go, yeah, we have to increase its level. Since we have 2 different Star Contracts in grave, we didn't activate this one in field, we can buff its level by 2, so that way it becomes level 4, so that way we can just go straight into the Siegfried. So, pretty simple combo, and we're ending on basically the same end board, maybe like slightly different. Now I'm going to be showing you what if we actually get drolled on this. So we go Kepler, then we grab the King, Zero King, and then now we finally get drolled, and now we can do whatever we want here. Basically just going to do the exact same combo. Since we know we got drolled early, we can now pivot our combo towards that droll. So that way we can go to Gilgamesh, getting the Clovis and grave. Then now we can just go into the Ragnarok. Go activate. We go Ragnarok, destroy our scale, our Machinex, and then we go Thomas to add back your Machinex, so you can activate it. And since it's activated that turn, you can then add you can then place a Dark Contract. So just place the Swamp King. We're gonna fuse 2 for the Gilg, and now we can revive back the Clovis, and then now we just go into Gilgamesh with Machinex. Alternatively, if you have 2 4s, you can also just go into a really big Machinex using extra deck. Yeah, that's the combo. Let's move on to the next one. In this next combo, I'm going to be showing you what one Dark Contract for the gates actually does. So this is indeed a 1-card combo thanks to the new Machinex card. And well, you can actually play around. Just add the Machinex. Machinex can do everything. Essentially get Gilgamesh. Then now we can buff its level. And then now going back to Machinex. Link 3 without having. And we get to the same position with 2 cores. Now we Solomon. Of course, we're not going to actually get drolled here because we're not doing it in this combo. However, there's a variation in my spreadsheet that we do get drolled. So pretty much same stuff. We're ending on pretty much the same exact our contract. Clovis can revive. And we can even use our normal summon because we haven't yet. We can make a really big Machinex, well, 2 material Machinex, and then a Siegfried, Caesar. This is our end board we usually want to get all the time. Of course, there are variations where you can get Headhunt as well in your combo. But we're not playing Headhunt in the main deck. You can side deck it. And as well as the new Dark Contract is a little trickier to get to, since we don't have that many searches for it, and since it's not considered a DD card, we can't add it normally off of our like 6 different ways to add a DD card. We can foolish it pretty easy with the tell, however getting it back from graveyard has always been a challenge. Overall, I think this combo is pretty solid, and let's move on to the next one. So we're pretty much starting the same combo this way. You know, what happens if we get drolled here? I'm going to show you what droll actually does. You can actually just straight up just add the Copernicus and then just go into this combo right away. We can also do the other line where you go into the Machinex as well. Either or is like completely fine. Then we just want to go into Swamp King, and then we make this go here. Yeah, like this combo is like still fine. I think you can also end on a Machinex. How you're just short body. There's totally a way to do it. But yeah, since there's like so many different combos, it can be difficult to remember them all. That's for sure. This deck is very challenging in the sense that everything is just super convoluted, but hopefully these spreadsheets and combos give you ideas and give you what to pivot for in certain situations. Like if you get drolled, or if you're expecting droll, you want to maybe go for Clovis early, or maybe you want to wait to add after you get the Ragnarok. After you get to Ragnarok, so you can negate a droll. Anyways, I digress. Let's go on to the next combo. For our last set of 1-card combo, it's going to be the big main deck Machinex. Oh, I have to combo the exact same. Just kind of getting to the similar start with Copernicus, which is different kinds of hands. Copernicus is not a 1-card combo, so keep that in mind. Overall, like here, if we get drolled, we would have to get drolled on the Solomon because we didn't add to our main deck the entire combo. And then we want to pop it with the Ragnarok and then trigger that. And now we just go for combo. Knowing that we didn't get drolled, we can safely add the Kepler. And then Kepler can make this, we can make that, and Siegfried, and we Machinex pretty easily. You can play 2 Genghis. If you're playing 1 Genghis, this combo gets a little trickier. But I like the 2 for recovery plays, especially with if you're playing Swamp King. It makes it just a tiny bit better. And yeah, move on to the next combo. Next I'm going to be showing you is a 1.5 card combo. So it's basically just going to be 2 copies of Copernicus. It can be Copernicus plus any DD or Dark Contract. And now we just go Copernicus. Once we get to Gilgamesh, we go pen 1, and then now we can we do the pop addy thing with Thomas, and now we can just add it, and now we just pen. Now we have to go effect pop so we can summon out the Gryphon. Grab the Ragnarok so we can scale the Ragnarok after we pop the our scale, making it so that we're free. And now we want to add another copy of this, that way so when we pop it off of the level 2 guy, the horseman, we can essentially keep one on field for the Machinex. That way we can end on Siegfried and Machinex. You will notice that we are missing a Caesar. This deck lacks bodies, so it's very tricky to get into that end Caesar and play around everything. So this combo is still pretty safe. You're still ending on 4 disruptions, just still pretty solid, as well as you're also ending up follow up on the Thomas. That way you can pen summon next turn, and then you can also add and like add the Machinex. And if they out your board, you can also special summon the Machinex, which is a legitimate disruption. They pop a guy on your field, you can trigger effect special. And then that way it's a non-target pop too. Right, one card on the field. Like these cards are crazy. Like I really want to play this deck. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next combo here is going to be definitely one of our stronger openers. It's going to be Copernicus plus Gryphon. Like you can also get to this different ways. Kepler plus Gryphon kind of are the same thing anyways, because Kepler can grab the Dark Contract and then you can like summon from deck. Like there's so many ways to get to 2 bodies and like get adds like this. You can get to the same board state with any of our starters. That's the idea. So essentially what we're doing here is we're making Solomon early in the combo, so that way if the imperm are Gilgamesh, we still have follow-up. We have a King Tail Send. We have like so much gas. So our Gilgamesh that matters a lot less. And so now we're just going to go Dark Contract, add our Ragnarok here. We're going to go pop our skill so we can activate the Ragnarok. We're going to pen 2, summon out the Gryphon from grave. Now we're safe from Nib. Then now we can just go into the Siegfried. And then now we still have our second pen. So we can just pen for 1 here. Summon this guy from grave, and then now end on this for free. Like this combo is pretty solid. Getting 2 pendulum summons a turn is kind of nice. All right, next combo. This next combo is going to be pretty much if we get impermed on our Gilgamesh, how can we proceed? So this 2-card combo does play around imperm on Gilgamesh pretty easily. You make Gilgamesh, gets met with an imperm here. And we get our King Tail Send for our Lance. Then now we just have the Thomas. Go place the Thomas. Have our Machinex. And look at that. We got full scales. We have to use our first pendulum summon. That way we can go into the Ragnarok without having to use anything else in grave. So that way we're safe from Nib completely. Then now we can just go Soldier. Send a Destroy Special. And then now we can just pop our scale for a once we search. That way we can just activate the Ragnarok, so that way we can get to a place where we get Genghis and Ragnarok, and we can do the thing where we summon off the Ragnarok after summoning something off the Genghis or vice versa. We're also ending on 3 activations of Deus Machinex and our same end board. Like through 1 imperm, you end on this easily. Like it's pretty insane of how much that can extend past of multiple hand traps. That being said, Fuelos completely destroys you, so take that as you will. And there's not really much you can do to play around it, which is why I want to maximize Ash Blossoms. You can play Crossout, and you can play Called by the Grave talent, so that way you can end on like Siegfried Pass, Talent's Hand Rip, gives you something to do. Ideally you want to Called by Ash Blossom and cross out it if possible. All right, move on to the next one. In this next combo, I'm going to be showing you what we can actually do through imperm and droll. So pretty much have full DDD combo here. It's going to be looking very similar. We finally get drolled. Then now we go make the King Tail, go summon the Soldier. Then now we get impermed on the Gilgamesh. This would normally be a turn skip, right? Now we got plays for days. Still got the Genghis. Go send, trigger the Genghis. Since we did pop off the Lance Soldier, we can trigger the Machinex. Then now we can make our Machinex with 2 materials, sorry. And you also have a Ragnarok negate for potential Nibiru past this if they have. But anyways, I'll be showing you what you can also end on. So instead of sending the big Ragnarok here, we want to dump a gate, so that way we can make a Clovis, then Clovis will revive back the Solomon, and then we can just make King Tail into X, and that way we can just end on a Caesar instead. But yeah, like you have 2 different endboards. It's whether or not you want a Siegfried or a Caesar. Really depends on you. I personally prefer Siegfried because he can just negate back row, which is like super nice. I mean, Caesar can still kind of do that, but I'd rather the Siegfried, I think. But you can change it up to whatever matchup you're up against, basically. But yeah, anyways, we get to the same point across. Let's move on to the last combo I have planned. So this is the last combo I have planned. I'm going to show you what we can do with against nib imperm, because they could just wait for the link 3, wait for us to overextend, and then just nib imperm. Then we should lose, right? Right? Then now we just go into a link 2. You should make the king tail over the rank 4 as soon as possible. Just help you isolate yourself, and that way if you ever get nibbed, you get a free cent anyways. That way you never get nibbed on the rank 4 but the rank 5. But here we just pop, you go special, 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 and then you go gryphon, you go add. I have some text here. If it's if it's nib veiler, they can wait until we go to Caesar, because that's the only way to out the veiler, because we can go Caesar chainlink 1, you go veiler on the Caesar, you go chain Ragnarok negate veiler, because Ragnarok cannot negate imperm, but it can negate veiler pretty easily. So nib veiler is a little tricky, but we can just eat at nib here and we're still fine comboing. You make Genghis, go add a, we don't want to add Ragnarok here, we just add the Gryphon. When in doubt, just get Gryphon, kind of just does stuff. Then here we can just go into the Clovis using that, summon back, and then we can just go with Siegfried. And we're ending on a similar end board again. Alternatively, this should be here into this zone and not under this EM. But other than that, it's still a good combo. Yeah, those were all the combos I had planned for this deck. I do think this deck is super strong and super good. The deck list here could probably play Dominus Impulse because our attributes are absolutely fine with it. And I think it's a pretty good card to play in this deck. But overall, this good, and I am really liking how it's turning out. However, in play it could be very different. Like going second could be a very big challenge, and Fualos deadly, and sometimes Meows can be kind of deadly as well, where you have to focus your plays around that. I don't have any combos through Meows right now because I've just mapped out like this many combos. It took me like something like 14 hours to do it. So it takes time, but eventually I will keep this updated. I'll try to keep this updated and try to figure out some lines through Meowlos. But I'm pretty sure we can do it fairly easier, at least easier than Fua. Fua is the one I really care about the most here. You have one combo through Fua, it's Siegfried pass and then get them 2 draws. Like, it's not great. That's enough said. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support on the previous videos. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate every comment, every subscription you guys give. All that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help the channel and help it grow. It's also free. Thank you.